So, Rosetta, what are we making today?
Well, Donna, today's bread day. And as simple as that sounds, bread day, it's heaped in tradition. A huge part of our culture. Big standards by my mom's ratio. Had to be the best bread, had to be real bread. Always freshly made bread. A very simple recipe, very rustic, nothing more than just good ingredients, fun, lots of flour, and lots of kneading.
All right, it sounds really great. Let's get to it.
Let's do it. Well, Donna, the day has come. We're gonna make bread.
We've made a lot of things together over the years
Oh my
from
goodness,
time to time.
Yes,
but
we have.
never bread.
No, we've never made bread together. We've eaten bread.
We certainly have.
Even when we shouldn't be eating bread, we've always eaten bread together.
Yeah.
My mom's bread recipe, which I'm going to do today, is the simplest, the most basic bread recipe there ever is. Mom really had a standard that it had to be fresh bread. So we literally made bread every day at the restaurant.
I remember that.
And every day it was freshly baked. And there's another reason why she wanted to do it that way too, because there's no preservatives in it. You'll find this bread won't last. You will have a drier bread. It'll get a little bit heavier. There's nothing to, especially in the warmth of the summer, if there's a little bit of humidity, there's nothing to stop it from molding. So for her, she would make just a small amount every day.
Right.
And the customers got to have fresh bread every day. So that's what we're gonna do. Very, very easy, very basic. And you're gonna have so much fun. You're gonna get so much exercise.
Well, I wore my short sleeves today, which you did too, so that we could just get right into it.
Right into it.
I can't wait.
Now, we have the mixer, and we're gonna use it. She never did.
She did it
by
hand,
the old-fashioned way. But we're gonna start it off. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna give me a cup of very, very warm water.
Oh, warm water.
Warm water. Because what I'm gonna do is in the bowl, I'm gonna put basically, I would say almost a teaspoon, a teaspoon of sugar, a little bit more than a teaspoon of salt, 3 packages of the dry yeast.
Okay.
Okay. A cup of the warm water.
Put it in now.
Put it in now. And Mom always added just, and I'm not going to be able to measure, but I would think probably a tablespoon, let's say.
Of olive oil.
Of olive oil.
Wonderful.
And that, all of the ingredients in there is going to help the yeast start to grow. You want this to be nice and foamy, and you'll see, see how it's starting to already break up? So we're going to get this all ready. Now, we're going to make, my mom made bread. She never used a measuring system. I didn't know how to do it either, but with measuring. But I think it kind of works out to be to a cup of water, almost 5 cups of flour.
Okay.
To 6.
Okay.
I've kind of done it because I've been using the mixer. I haven't been doing it the way she used to do with, lots and lots of flour, and she would just know from the feeling of it.
Of course.
So that's what we're going to work with is 1 cup of warm water and 5 cups of flour.
Okay.
I've got some corn flour, and I've got some whole wheat flour.
Okay.
You can use whatever you want. I mean, obviously, white flour is the basic that she did for the restaurant.
Right.
Also because my dad would never eat anything but white bread. At home, she could not make anything but white bread. But
Did she make bread at home every day too, as well as make it at the restaurant?
Not every day, because we used to be able to take home the leftovers that she wasn't feeling that were good enough for the customers.
Oh.
We got it. But that's why at home we had to have white bread, because my dad refuses to eat anything but white. So when she made the whole wheat for the restaurant, which people loved,
Yes.
he wasn't a happy man.
Oh,
so
well.
It is what it is. So this is all starting to foam. We're going to turn it on really low and get it started. And you're going to add the flour. And basically all we're going to do is mix it. Let the water absorb the flour so that it becomes a nice big ball. I'm going to add a little bit of the corn. It gives a really nice texture to it.
It would make it,
yeah. It's a little heavier.
Yeah, it would give it texture, I guess that's the right word.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you remember when my kids used to come in and we'd go to the restaurant together, and do you remember they would be, they just wanted the bread?
And you know how many times they spoiled their dinners because they ate so much bread.
Yes, yes.
And by the time the dinner came out,
They loved it.
they loved it. Okay, so now
Oh,
it's
look what's happening.
yeah. So it's all, and basically I've put in 3 cups of flour, about half a cup of the corn. So this is going to become a ball now. And that's all. And there it goes. So we're just going to add a little bit more. And we're going to get ourselves organized. Because as soon as it all comes to one big clump, we're going to turn it on to here.
Okay.
And you're going to start the kneading process. Isn't
Now,
that fun?
you have to knead, well, maybe that's not true. Do you have to knead bread by hand?
If you have a bread machine, the answer is no. And I wouldn't know because I've never used one, so I can't talk about it from experience. Yeah, you do. Because what you're doing with the kneading is, number one, you're putting air into the dough.
Okay.
Number two, you're getting it to be nice and elasticy so you get that nice growth of it.
Yes.
And in order for it all to come together, because once we've kneaded it and you got into that nice, because what you'll see, when it comes out of there, it's going to be almost like lumpy.
Okay.
And then once we put it into the bowl to rise,
All right.
it's smooth and beautiful. Okay.
Okay.
We're good. Now this is going to be a little bit darker because, like, again, it's a whole wheat.
Right.
And, but that's going to be really nice to have.
In my house growing up, we only had whole wheat bread.
Well, so there you go.
We never, and everybody's different, right?
Yeah,
It's
oh,
everybody's
exactly.
different with, you
So,
need that, don't
yeah,
you?
so we're going to take this right out of the, and push it right out of the way.
Okay. I'll move it.
Okay. So basically I'm going to put flour down on the counter. And this is where we get to have fun. Now, so you see what it looks like?
Yes, it's kind of, yes.
Yeah, okay. So now you're going to take this and you're going to make it into bread dough. Yeah, I'm going to put a little bit more liquid on here for you because it's a little bit drier.
It's a little bit dry?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, hold on. I'll get you some liquid. Okay.
Someday, we're going to make something that I know how to make, and I can show you how to do it. Something you don't know how to make.
Okay, so what's that going to be? Okay, you think about it while I get this together.
Martinis. Oh, no, you know how to make those.
I can make martinis. Something nutritious, something really healthy.
Something nutritious, really healthy.
Really healthy.
Oh, well, I'm going to work on that. I'm going to work on that.
Actually,
I
that,
make a lot of
actually,
really
you know,
healthy.
that's not true. You've made a beautiful grilled vegetables one time when I was here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's
and,
right.
And you did, was it chicken?
I don't remember.
It was a chicken breast dish that was delicious. Okay,
Okay.
so put some more flour down.
Okay.
Because what you're going to do is you're working the flour into it as
Yes.
well.
Yeah.
And you have to put all of your energy into it. You have to work it until you get it to be so smooth. Okay, keep going, young lady. There you go.
This would be fun to do
There you go. Just a little touch. Just
when you need to,
There you go.
think about things and like
Yeah.
get your aggression out. Okay, so the proper kneading technique
Is
is
you bringing it
you bring it
over.
over and you push, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
But not the whole thing.
okay, show me.
Okay. So here we go. So you bring it over and you push it.
Oh,
into,
in the center.
So you're pushing the center out.
Gotcha.
Okay. So
Okay, let me try that.
and you just keep doing it until, because what you want to do is you're going to create a nice elastic dough.
Okay,
Keep
hold
going.
on. Over.
Into them.
There's lots of things I can do.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Well,
And
yeah,
it
keep
just
going.
seems to some of these
Yeah,
things that you
keep going.
think are so simple.
Yeah, keep going.
But they're not. All right. So you can feel it getting all, the textures keeps
Yeah.
changing. I feel like I'm lost
Yeah.
the technique again.
Yeah, there you have.
I did.
Yeah, you
Okay.
did. Okay.
How's it-
So
okay, wait.
basically,
No.
no, right. So you have to just put your whole body into it and bring it up and bring it up.
Well, you're closer to the counter, so that's easier for
That's
you
also
to put
true.
your whole body.
Smart ass, of course. Now, do you see how nice and
Oh, look at that.
Okay,
It's
so
beautiful.
what
so
we're
now-
going to do is we're going to put a little dab of
More olive oil.
No, just a touch. Just a touch.
No, but I'm just saying, every time,
Yeah.
everything we do,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
there's always olive oil.
Well, that's why there's no cholesterol problems in our family.
There you go.
There you go. So we're just going to flour we're going to put this in there and we're going to turn it just so
Right.
that it has oil on both sides.
Yes.
We're going to cover it and we're just going to let it raise and nice and rise.
And you just, where do you do that? Just
No,
leave
somewhere,
it
I usually put it close to the stove.
Stove, right.
Because the stove is on for the bread.
Okay.
So we're going to put it nice and close. My mom used to sometimes put it right on top.
in. Okay.
Depending on, you have to keep your eye on it.
Yes.
And we're going to cover it.
Okay.
And that's it. We're done.
Oh.
So now, I have taken the liberty of punching this down a couple of times.
This is the one we needed earlier.
That's right. Now I want you
The
to
one, excuse me, the one I mostly needed and you kind of
that one
sorted
I
it.
showed you how to knead because you weren't really sure how to do it. Now I want you to put your finger on it and see.
Oh,
Do you
look
see?
what happens.
Yeah, isn't that beautiful?
That's so, oh my goodness. The
Now-
texture totally changes.
Totally changes. Now it rises. You punch it down,
Right.
and then you let it rise again. You can do that as many times. I mean, 2, 3.
How many did your mom do it?
She used to do it twice.
Okay.
Twice, 3 times at max. And what you're doing is just letting it so that, again, more and more air.
Air.
Goes. Exactly. So what we're going to do now is time for us to have some fun. This time it's not the work so much as it is the fact that we're going to make it into our loaves, our buns, and I'm going to show you a trick that we used to do when my mom
What's
made,
that?
on the day that we made bread.
Yes.
I'm going to put this away. Okay, what we're going to do is we're just going to knead a little bit. You go right ahead and do that. And see how much easier it is now?
Oh, it's just
see.
totally different.
Yeah. Isn't that wonderful? And the reason why we're doing that again is just incorporate the air one more time into it. Do you see all the, actually you can actually see the air bubbles. Boop.
Ooh, you can feel it, like
Yeah.
you can just feel it. Okay.
And then that gives you a nice light bread. And
So once you've punched it down,
Yep.
2, 3 times, whatever you like,
then we're going to
then
do,
we're
we
going
do
to knead
this.
it. And for how long?
No, not just as long as we know we got it all incorporated. Everything, the oil that was around it is all in there. Nice. It's nice and smooth. Let me see.
Okay, what do you think?
And beautiful. Okay.
Okay.
So there's your bread.
All right.
Now we're going to take a knife and we're actually going to make it into a loaf. Now, I don't want to cut the counter.
I don't want you to cut the counter.
And I don't want you to cut the counter. I'm going to make it into 3 loaves because this is basically a 2 to 3 loaf
So that
recipe.
was 4 cups of flour, right?
4 to 5 cups
4
of
to 5
flour
cups, okay.
and 1 cup of water. So this is basically me now forming it into a loaf.
Do you want me to do one of the other ones?
Yeah, here.
Okay.
Make it into a loaf. And then I'm going to have a surprise for this one, okay?
Ooh.
Something that my mother used to do on bread day. Because bread day was very important. Like in Italy, it became a whole village. The reason being because they had to set the fire, and that was a wood oven outdoor.
Outside, right?
Exactly.
Didn't you show me a picture of your cousins or something?
my sister and everybody.
Okay, your sister, like not that long ago, last summer,
Yeah.
and you showed me a picture of them doing bread day
And
outside, right?
And it's a real process.
And-
You have to collect the wood. You have to set the fire. You got to get it at a certain temperature.
Right.
So it's not just something you do in one day. So when
Okay.
bread day was, there's my loaf.
Oh dear. All right, let me try.
Okay.
So,
Dad, what are you doing?
I don't know. I was trying to. What am I doing wrong?
Well, this is nice, but what's this?
The bottom that nobody sees.
No. Well, and that's fine because you know what? Watch this. See, in Italy, you could do this
Oh,
and
you're
this
gathering
and
it
this
up.
and this and this and then put it. And you make a little loaf.
Aww.
But I want it to be long, mine.
Okay.
So you just form it into that, and if you wanted to make it into small buns, the same idea. So there we go.
Okay.
Okay, you don't have to do this. My mom didn't like cutting her bread. It's a religious thing.
Okay.
I like it because it gives it a little bit of character.
Right.
A little bit of, make a little bit of a design to it. And now these have to rise.
Okay.
So you're not going to do anything. I'm going to put it over here by the stove.
Yes.
And they have to at least double in size.
Double in size.
At least.
Okay.
The
All right.
minimum double in size.
Okay. So
Okay.
now,
So
what
now-
are we doing? What's
This is the fun
the
part.
surprise?
So the day that Mom made bread was the day, as kids, we thought it was time for treats. Can you put a little bit of olive oil on there? Just a touch. Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's fine. So you're going to spread that out. And what we're going to do with this is my mom used to, on pizza, she used to call it pizza, we used to call it focaccia. But the day of bread making, because it's going to take a while to rise, we're going to make this into what we call my mom's pizza. So you're going to keep working this with your fingers.
Is that like the kind of pizza we had when we were in Tuscany?
Yes.
The place, and they would have all those goodies on them and everything, and they were so.
So
wonderful.
we're going to keep going, and you're going to spread this. No, not with your palms, with your fingertips. You're trying to make the little indentations. Don't make rips. And don't think you're going to get it. I mean, you can get it into as pretty a shape as you want, but you want it to be rustic.
I remember they were uneven though, the ones that we
because
had
they're
when
very
we were
rustic. Okay, so while I'm working on this,
Yes.
or we are working on this, what we can do is get stuff ready to put on top.
Okay.
So because we were,
It's shrinking.
yeah, and that's why we'll keep moving it.
Okay.
And then we'll take it and we'll go like this.
Ah.
And then we'll move it. You're gonna take some rosemary
Okay.
and some thyme.
Yes.
Make sure to take all the stems off. You're gonna give me some nice rosemary and thyme on here.
Okay, so just like this and
Just a little small, because we're gonna be eating this now. Okay. And just keep working it and working it. And it's gonna shrink and we're gonna make it bigger.
hold on.
Now, you know, I mean, once you've got the thyme and rosemary and we let this grow for a while, you could cook it just like that and have it just basically like a rustic focaccia bread.
Right.
But I brought us a treat.
What did you bring? What did you bring?
Well, my mom always made homemade preserves, right?
Oh my gosh, yes.
And-
all kinds of things she used to make.
Oh,
Her olives were one of my favorite things.
well, this is the second last jar I have of mom. Homemade
Wow.
pickled eggplant.
Oh, and I know she loved eggplant. Your dad likes eggplant too.
Yes, and they have to be the baby ones. So I'm going to show you how cute it is because it's not like the big eggplants. They're little tiny ones, and she used to do them individually, which is crazy. Keep going, and I'm just going to grab a
Having
fork.
trouble.
No, you're doing
You
fine.
did this so easily. You got the time off the thing.
Well, that's just because it is. So I'm going to take these out. Oh, there we go. Now these have been in here for God knows when she did these. There we go. So this is her eggplant. But see,
And was that eggplant maybe from your dad's garden?
no,
Or-
no,
it would have been.
No, these ones she used to have a dear friend, a farmer from Leamington,
Mm-hmm.
who used to come up in the late summer, early fall, bushels and bushels and bushels of baby eggplant. And now
Oh, really?
I hated working on it. My hands used to be black because we had to peel each one individually.
Oh,
Yeah. mhm.
wow.
Okay, so now we're just going to keep working on this. Then I've got some rose peppers there for you.
Yes.
We're going to shrivel those up.
Shrivel them up. How are we going to do that?
You know, not shrivel.
Oh, like
Shred.
Like shred them.
Yeah.
Okay, so pull them apart
Well,
and
you
put
know,
them
English,
on top.
you know that English is not my first language, right?
I know that.
Thank you.
Someday I want to learn to speak Italian.
Someday I'd like to speak English.
We can only hope.
We can, hey, easy now, girl.
Okay, how big do you want these?
Just like slivers, because what we're going to do now is we're going to start building our flavors.
Can I do this?
Yeah, you sure can. Oh, look at that. Can you smell that?
Oh, it's fabulous.
And we're going to take some of the eggplant after. You do that.
Okay.
And I always like it a little bit spicy.
Ooh, some hot chili peppers.
Just a touch, not too much, because I know you're not that spicy kind of person. And my some homemade Italian sausage.
Okay, is that sausage or salami?
This is sausage. This is
Oh,
cured
really?
Italian sausage. Salami is a lot wider. These are like little tiny. These are
Oh,
sausage.
comprende.
Caprende?
How do you say comprende in Italian?
Caprende.
Look at that.
You're
Okay,
so-
so I
Okay.
think one more little piece here of
Okay.
of roasted pepper.
And
Okay.
I'm just going to put a few of these on here.
Oh my goodness, this looks fabulous.
Yeah. This is like homemade pizza only. It's got too many good things in it. And there we go. I'm not going to put any cheese because I just want the...
Because you don't need it all the time,
well,
right?
no, exactly. Put a little bit of the eggplant on here. And a little bit more of that right here. Okay. And there you go.
Fantastic. I can smell that bread.
Isn't that amazing?
I think it must be ready. Is it ready,
Well,
do you
well,
think?
the loaves will be ready. The
Oh,
focaccia
okay.
won't be, but that's fine because I'll show you another trick.
Oh,
These are all mom's. I mean, I cannot take any credit. It's not just mom. This is mom and her the area where she was from, Calabrese.
yes.
Bread was a really huge deal. Bread making was the day that the families all got together. The men were there from morning till night to get the oven ready. That was their job. And they had wooden, it was like a trough. It was like huge wooden cutout board that they had made for the women. And there'd be 5 or 6 of them mixing the bread. And so everybody was there for the full day. Men got drunk, drank wine, and women, of course, and the women just made bread. And with the bread came eating, of course, and kids ran around and everybody was.
Look at those.
Isn't that wonderful?
They're beautiful.
And you know what? Tap,
Now, how I was going to say, how did you know?
Tap. No, don't. No. Your fingertips. Do you hear? You hear
Yes,
the noise?
it's like you're patting it.
Well, and
Yes.
if you can hear the noise,
Yes.
and it's like a little bit of a drum instead of
Yes.
like duh, like not dull.
Yes.
It's like dun-dun, then you know it's ready. The other
All
way,
right.
and it's very easy. Just check the bottom.
Beautiful. Oh
Okay.
my gosh.
So here's your bread.
Yes.
Now, what they would do is they would take it straight out of the oven.
Yes.
Straight out of the oven, just like we did.
Yes.
Ah, that's hot. I'm going to move this out of the way just so we don't burn ourselves on it because it's right out of the oven. And lo and behold, this is what they would do. I know we should use a knife. Again, it was a cultural, religious thing. You never put a knife into bread. You don't stab a loaf of bread.
Okay.
So my mother would always cut.
Oh.
Okay? You never go
cut
in.
it lengthwise.
That's right.
Okay.
And you would, it's hot, and it's very, very. Oh,
Oh, look at that. It's so beautiful on the inside.
can you smell it?
I can.
Okay, so this is where.
Oh,
now
what are we
you-
putting? What are we putting?
Okay, some chili peppers,
Okay. Olive oil.
copious amounts of olive oil.
Copious. Wow.
Okay, now we're going to take some of the rosemary, and again, this is more for and the heat will release the flavor. You won't, and that's why I'm not chopping it fine because it's not. If you want to eat it, you can. But again, can you smell it already?
Of course.
Yeah,
Oh,
of
it's
course.
so beautiful.
Some thyme leaves. Now, this is where we can put some of the peppers. Now, you could have your. This would be a meal, because you would just like literally everyone would just get up there, a little bit of vinegar, if you want, and just go. Shut up. No, seriously. Now, the vinegar gives it a nice tangy taste. This is how they would. Can we have some wine?
I cannot speak right now.
Okay, meditate. And so we just make sure it's nice.
Oh
and
my
hot.
goodness.
And a little.
Oh my goodness.
Is that yum? Now, of course, we can have some roast peppers, which we have right here. And again, it's the same concept as what we're doing with the focaccia in the oven. We can slice some salami or sausage that I brought
Right.
over. Some of the pickled eggplant. And this is how you would. This is. Oh yeah.
This is a lovely red wine that also I had in my collection. Campagna Aglianico from the south of Italy.
Aglianico.
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 Aglianico. It says N-I. Okay, tell me how to say it properly.
Campagna Aglianico.
All right.
Sure.
Let's see what it tastes like.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Try that. And this is nice because it's a southern wine. This is very Calabrese. This is very Calabrese.
Oh, that's lovely.
That's very nice.
You know what else is lovely?
What's that?
Have
honey?
you noticed my beautiful tulips
Well,
here?
and I know your tulips are your favorite flowers.
They are. I really
And I know
do like
white
them.
tulips are very, very much one of your favorites. The only thing is you've
Don't
done
they
something.
look gorgeous?
They do, but do you want them to look gorgeous for longer? And have them stand up nicely? Put some pennies in them.
Why?
Because
Pennies?
well, the copper apparently interacts with whatever it is, and
I have some pennies in a little bowl here.
I mean, we've always done it. I don't know if it's
How much longer do they last? Did you ever try it?
Well, I've tried it, but I don't know because I've never tried it without, so I don't know. But I know that they stand up instead of flopping over.
Really?
If these are short, but if you're longer tulips, they would flop over. With pennies, they won't.
I think they're just so beautiful. I love the white ones because they're just simple and
Now, this bread, while it's warm, you're not going to do anything with it as far as like packaging it. If you want to give it away, and my mom did, she always tied it in a tea towel, which
Right.
is very traditional, or you want to do a paper towel. Once it's cooled down, then you put it into either a plastic bag or wrap it up in saran just to
Okay.
keep it moist and
well, it's so
fresh.
fabulous. Do you think the focaccia is ready?
You're too excited about that, aren't you?
I am. I just love doing that. That was so good.
I'm gonna check and then I'll let you know. Oh dear, almost, not quite, but see,
Oh yes. So it just needs a little bit longer.
Yep, it does. But flavor-wise, if we take the peppers and the sausage and the preserves and eat it with this, that's basically what we have. And that can be as a bread without anything on top of it except some olive oil and herbs, and use it as your bread for the evening, or you can use it as a pizza crust. But this was our treat as growing up. And the men loved, because as soon as the bread came out, this is what they got with their wine. Mm-hmm. And then no one had dinner because everyone was either drunk or overfed on bread.
Well, it's just fabulous cultural traditions and fun, and it's different from how we do things a lot in the ways in North America and in Canada,
but you know, again,
good to learn about.
Everyone seems to be going to making and doing the homemade, going back to the grassroots. Like I said, this recipe is so simple, it's not even, I mean, I don't even know if it's a recipe. It's just basically what you do. But how creative can you get with it?
Imagine.
Because you can make, you know, a nice long baguette. So you can have it as, you know, to make crostinis. You can make it into breadsticks. You can make it into small buns. So you can have it for your dinner parties and or just for your family. Little sandwiches for, you know, the kids to take to school. Mm-hmm. And it's very healthy because you've done it yourself. No preservatives.
Right.
Don't forget, because of that, this bread will not last as long as your store-bought. And there's nothing wrong with store-bought. It's just that this has nothing.
Yeah.
It's just basics.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Enjoy.
Yes.
Salute.
Cheers.
Cheers. Here's to Mom and her bread.
Yep.
You know what? Even though it's the same dough, it's amazing how much more textured this is, and it's crispy. It's not nice and soft like the bread that we just ate.
Right.
I'm going to cut some of this.
Here, let's do it this way.
Oh, perfect.
Okay.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I'm just going to take the whole right on here.
Oh, it looks so beautiful.
And I'm just going to cut it. Now, again, if you let it rest, it'll get a little bit more tender.
Okay.
But right now, it's just crispy, and it's so much fun. And this is, as when we grew up as kids, this is what we thought pizza was. We didn't realize that you could order pizza from places and have, you know, pepperoni and sausage and cheese.
If you were to put cheese on it, like we didn't put cheese on this one,
no.
but if you were to put cheese on it, does it make it a little more,
more
moist or whatever? Or I don't mean that this isn't moist. What I mean is
No, it's just going to give you another layer of flavor.
Okay.
Because it has no sauce on it.
Yes.
You know, it's not going to give you, if you wanted to put sauce, you could. I mean, you could literally make this into a pizza. But this to us was, growing up, what we thought pizza was. We never knew that there was supposed to be sauce and salami or pepperoni and cheese. We didn't know that until we were old enough to get to a pizzeria. Isn't that yum?
That's fabulous.
And yep,
It's so crunchy. And I think if you were having a dinner party, you could make that ahead of time and then slice it up into pieces and serve it room temperature or
exactly,
or warm or room temperature,
with
whatever.
rapini and sausage on it. Anything you want on top is literally and as simple as just the oil and the herbs.
Right.
Like if I was going to do this at a party, I'd probably put it like this and add a little bit of the oil to it, and you know, and just you can just.
Or you could put it around and put a little bit of oil in the center, and people could dip or whatever.
Exactly. But it's just amazing that it's exactly the same dough as those other ones.
It is.
But the texture of it is totally different.
When you cook it that way.
Exactly. And it's because you've spread it out and made it thinner and you let it crisp up. Anyway, so that's our take on focaccia.
Fabulous.
Thanks, honey.
Awesome.
Cheers. Here's to having bread two ways.
Two ways.